I'll show you how to make this lovely bow that you can add to your bouquet. Hi, I'm Melanie from Balloon Artworks. From my bow, I'm using 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch wide ribbon, a pair of scissors. If you want to use a chenille stem, you may need a pair of snips or bunch cutters. I like to tie my ribbons together using 260 twisting balloons. So these are latex rubber balloons and work like a stretchy rubber band. I just always snip off the tip end. I've cut a 6-inch strip, each of the 1.5 inch and 2.5 inch ribbon, and I've cut two 14-inch strips of the wider ribbon. These are going to be my tails, and I'm just going to dovetail these. So this is a vertical pattern, so make sure you dovetail at the bottom of the pattern. So I'm just snipping a V shape in there, and I can put those to one side. So this is a vertical pattern, and whilst I want my tails to be in the same direction, with this particular ribbon, which I've used before, I'm not too worried about the Christmas tree pattern always being in the same direction for the actual ribbon bundle. Okay, I'm lining up my ribbons, and I've got my narrow ribbon underneath. And I'm just going to make a loop that is somewhere between 3 and 4 inches in size. Okay. And then bring this other side over and make another loop that is a similar size to the first one. But you will need to overlap in the centre. At this point, if we were to carry on, we would have the wrong side of our ribbon showing on our bow. So what we need to do is we need to flip the ribbon over, and we do that by scrunching the ribbon together at the centre for this last loop. Okay, so the first one's flat, this one is scrunched, and twisting the two ribbons over. So I've scrunched both those ribbons at the centre and twisted them over. You're going to need to keep your finger here to keep everything in position. And then you want to make another loop that is about a finger bigger than the one below. So I did say keep your finger at the centre, didn't I? That instruction was for me. Okay, so just make a loop that is a bit bigger, bring it to the centre. And as we did before, we need to scrunch everything together at the centre and twist it over. So if you're at all concerned as to whether you've got your ribbons the right way, you can just have a little peek underneath and the right sides should be showing. If they're not, then you'll just need to go back and undo the ribbon to that point. Okay, so we need to scrunch our ribbons together at the centre and then twist them over. Okay, and you can carry on following these steps until you run out of ribbon. Okay, squish everything together at the centre. Take your chenille stem or your 260, hang on to everything. Just slide your stem or your 260 underneath, and we need to tie everything together. So just keep hold of one side of the 260 and just pull the other one underneath ribbon loops at the centre. And you want to stretch out the rubber 260 and make sure that you're wrapping the 260 over the top of the 260 underneath, because the 260 will sort of cling to itself. And then once you've done one side a couple of times, go in the other direction. This is actually a really secure way of tying these loops together. The latex kind of grabs onto itself. Once you've tied one knot, you need to tie a second time, otherwise this will all come undone. But once you've tied twice, that should be fine. I'm just going to trim away this little bit here. It's a little bit longer than I wanted. And then we can take our ribbon tails, and at the top we can scrunch them up and scrunch the other one and just place them together, and then turn them face down. And you want a little bit poking up here, but not too much. And you can tie that into your 260, or you can wrap it into your chenille stem if you used a chenille stem. Okay, and then pull it tight, and then tie a second time. And you can use these ends now to tie your bow onto your display. I like to tie using this method because I'm quite often attaching bows to balloon displays, and so the Latex 260 is a little kinder to my displays than a chenille stem that has pointy bits. Okay, so just separate out your loops and just work round separating them out. So I like to kind of alternate. So the first one I pulled a bigger loop this way, and in the second one I pulled it in the opposite direction. So I just kind of alternate to begin with and then work my way around. So you'll notice that some of these trees aren't the right way up, and that's because it's a vertical pattern. For this particular pattern, I'm really not too worried. I think it works okay. It's not always the case. Just depends on your pattern, so you just need to keep an eye on it. But the thing that people will notice is if the tails are not going in the same direction, if the pattern on the tails is different. Okay, and then just work around, arranging your lovely loops.